Okay.
We're dodging the ants. Yeah, okay. Turn it on, turn it on. Oh, turn it. Okay. We just wiped out about 400 ants. Yeah, and now we're like, we're playing around in the rain. It's really deep. Look how deep it is on me. Look how deep it is on him. That's why your secret spot in the whole universe.
Get your stuff. It's in the car.
Okay. I think I can carry on. Man.
Go.
I'm gonna make this get on the box.
Go in front of me.
After all that work to make that gown, you better go to camp, huh?
Yeah, he's there. Hey, Dad, I hope you have a
On it.
time.
Oh, I almost walked in front of your camera.
We don't have to do girls and boys on this, guys. It's whoever.
9, 10, one person up on the block. Somebody, a 9, 10 needs to go up on the last one. Okay, you guys are swimming at 25 free. Freestyle. Swimmers, take your mark.
Okay. Oh, that's good. Nice and even. I like that. Well, my little girl, ready? Try. Hold on to the bat. There you go. Push your elbow up. There you go. Ready?
Attaboy, Mike. Down and ready. Attaboy, Mike. Attaboy. Heads up.
Ryan, down ready. Go.
Bat on the ball, Mike. Bat on the ball. Watch it come out of his hand. Nice level swing. Be set. Be set. Good eye. Getting all of this, Mom?
Down and ready, Mark. Bring where it hit it. Bring where it put it, Mike.
Here we go, Mike. Here we go. Good eye.
That's better, Jason. That's better, big boy.
Mike. 3-0, Mike. 3-0. All right. All right, Mike. 3-1. 3-1. Hitter's pitch. Hitter's pitch. Be set. Be set. All right, good catch. Mike, watch it come out of his hand.
Get down, get ready.
Good catch.
That's 2 outs, guys. 2 outs. Play for first, guys. Play for first. You gotta get ready, Bill.
Little bingo, James. Little bingo. Get him back. Get him back.
Come on, Big Shane.
All right, Mike.
All right, Shane. Good
All
eye,
right,
Shane.
Mike.
Good eye, Shane.
Mike, work hard. Work hard.
All right, Shaner, come on, big boy. All right, Shaner.
Okay, Angels, let Mike know you're back there.
Jason, ready on the throw. Pat! Pat! Pat!
Cover second, ready.
Get a cover 2.
Back him up at second.
Mike Holler. Throw the ball, Mike. Throw the ball.
All right, Brett.
Get him. Get him. Get him. Get him.
Get him!
All right.
Watch the throw.
Good catch. Good throw. Good throw, Jason.
Back him, Jason.
Jason George.
Right to Mike. One at a time, Mike. One at a time. Right to the miss. One at a time. You're fine. You're fine. Ryan, be ready.
That's good.
Follow through, Mike. Follow through.
All right, Big Brett. All right, Big Brett.
One pitch at a time. You're fine.
If it's over, be a hitter. If it's over, be a hitter. Come on, buddy.
There you go. There you go. Good. Watch, Jason. You're okay. You ready to follow him down, Pat?
All right. Come on, Big Brett.
Jeremy, there's a throw to third. You got to back up.
If it's over, you be a hitter, big boy.
Attaboy, Mike.
All right, Mike, put it in there.
You're the boss up there, Mike. You're the boss. Here we go. Here we go. Be ready, infield. Be ready.
Exotic alloys, complex designs. Today's automobile engines are minor miracles of efficiency and power, but at a price. They generate more of the damaging filth called sludge. Today, what's required is a motor oil scientifically formulated to virtually eliminate sludge. There is one, Haviland Superior Grade.
The only recipe for real barbecue was a long day over an open pit. But now there's a new recipe, Open Pit Special Recipe.
You are watching WCMH-TV, Columbus, Ohio. This is Newswatch 4 with Colleen Marshall, Douglas Sells, and meteorologist Ben Gelber.
Good evening, everyone. 3 serious oil spills to tell you about tonight, all in various parts of the country and all within 24 hours of each other. A Uruguayan tanker ran aground this morning in the Delaware River. It spilled about 1.6 million gallons of heavy industrial heating oil, so heavy that much of it sank and is considered uncontainable. The Coast Guard is calling it a worst-case scenario. The tanker was carrying about 19 million gallons of oil. And off the coast of Rhode Island, a Greek tanker ran aground, spilling 1.5 million gallons of diesel fuel over a 20-mile area. It's already washing up onto the shores of the posh resort town of Newport, and early investigations indicate there was no pilot on board at the time of the accident. and that's against the law since the tanker was on its way into a port. Coast Guard crews, volunteers, and inmates from a nearby prison are joining the massive cleanup effort there. And in Houston, a tanker and a tugboat collided at the mouth of the Houston shipping channel. Several thousand gallons of oil have spilled into Galveston Bay. High, gusty winds have hampered cleanup efforts there. And the tanker that caused the worst oil spill in history is on a slow journey from Alaska to California. The Exxon Valdez will be repaired in San Diego. It's scheduled for $25 million worth of repairs. It took 2 months to make the tanker worthy for travel. The governor of Alaska said today he was happy to see the Valdez go. Temperatures in the 90s, but no relief in Canal Winchester at the public pool. Mayor Mike Jones today scrapped plans to reopen the pool, where nearly 50 people were injured yesterday by a chlorine gas leak. The mayor has called a meeting Monday to talk about how the leak and an evacuation were handled. Plans had called for the pool to reopen today. Now it looks like there will be no swimming there, at least until Tuesday. You can't swim in the Canal Winchester pool, but you will be able to water ski again tomorrow at Griggs Reservoir. Skiers had been ordered to stay out of Griggs because of a contamination problem. All of the rain forced sewage to overflow and led to bacterial contamination 5 times higher than accepted standards. But the bacteria has dissipated and skiers are welcome again. Swimmers, though, have never been allowed there. Well, when Gisela Rosenbaum was fired as City Services Director back in April, she was making about $31 an hour. Now she's about to be hired back by the city as a consultant on a personal services contract that will pay her about $50 an hour. The Reinhardt administration wants to hire her to head 2 freeway beautification projects. The mayor fired her because they disagreed on handling a highway construction project. This could be the dog that will put a smile back on the face of 5-year-old Sean Siebert. He's the stray Humane Society workers have been trying to trap in Marion for more than a week. It's hoped he is Hallie, a dog that belongs to Sean Siebert of Asheville, North Carolina. Sean's family was killed in a car crash in Delaware County. Sean and Hallie survived, but the dog ran away. He was trapped today, though. We sent this videotape to a station in North Carolina by satellite. They are sending it by bus to the boy's grandmother, who will compare it to pictures to see if it's the same dog. She says Sean misses Hallie and wants no other dog. We hope to know tomorrow if Sean will be reunited with his best friend. In the meantime, the dog is at the OSU Vets Hospital. The Columbus Metropolitan Housing Authority is sending out a message to drug dealers that may be living in their buildings. Stop it or find a new place to live. Those tenants that obey the laws are playing a vital part in carrying out the mission by turning in neighbors they suspect of drug trafficking. Already, the Housing Authority is considering action against 135 tenants. And as Darrell Collins explains, there's sure to be more to follow.
Drug deals like this have become commonplace in our city's housing projects. For some, drug trafficking has become a way of life. 8 weeks ago, the Columbus Metropolitan Housing Authority decided to get tough with those who choose to deal on their property. They hired Crime Prevention Coordinator Gary McCants and began a new policy. Tenants suspected of dealing in drugs will be thrown out.
You have senior citizens, even down to the youth crying for help.
This is the playground at Poindexter Village. Last Friday, there was a turf battle here between 2 groups, a group of Jamaicans and another from Detroit. They were fighting over crack. The Housing Authority has put priority on cleaning up what they consider to be the 5 worst drug communities: Poindexter Village, Lincoln Park, Sawyer Manor, Windsor Terrace, and Sullivan Gardens. At each of these complexes, it's been the residents that have pointed out those suspected of drug dealing. Last April, the authority began a crime prevention hotline. McCann says he wants Columbus to be a national model for cleaning up its housing projects and says those that live in them will play the most important part. Darrell Collins, Newswatch 4, Columbus.
Since CMHA is not a law enforcement agency, it uses such lease violations as failure to pay rent and lack of sanitary living, which are common among crack houses, to help remove the tenants. Well, imagine moving 625,000 books. That's exactly what was going on today at the main library downtown. The doors will be closed until July 5th, when Phase 1 of the library's expansion project will debut. Today, more than 100 volunteers lent a helping hand.
You can't get books moved without people, so that's why I'm here.
So I've worked volunteer at the library for several years, so I wanted to help participate in this too.
Is it tough work at all?
Huh?
Is it tough work?
Well, in a way, when you're loading, it got pretty warm in there because there wasn't a fan.
Also, they're saying that they want to help solve the parking problems around the Grand Avenue Library. They've built a 5-tier sub-level parking garage for patrons, and that will open July 5th as well. Senior citizens are America's fastest growing group, and every business from fast food to financial services want to cash in on that mature market. Leanne Carlson says at Senior Expo 89 today, over 200 marketers were turning seniors' golden years into a golden opportunity to sell.
We'd like for you to taste our new Heartbeat spread. That has half the calories of any diet margarine that's on the market today.
Wanted, senior citizens of all ages, shapes, and sizes. That was the cry being heard from hundreds of exhibitors today who were pitching everything from health care to cholesterol-free oat bran.
Hi, would you like some coupons for Sunkist? Always good. On the break.
Most of these seniors don't mind being the center of attention. In fact, they rather like it, even if they are being looked at as a major marketing target.
They're helping anyway.
How are they helping?
They're helping by giving us a lot of suggestions and help with the cooking and buying and things of that sort.
Kroger supermarkets joining in the senior scene by offering Golden Buckeye discounts.
And every single Tuesday, we either have a cents off coupon for senior citizens or free product through the end of the year.
Almost every business imaginable wants to be part of this growing group. They look at it as cashing in on a golden opportunity, and senior citizens are eating it up. Leanne Carlson, Newswatch 4, Columbus.
The young and old were out tonight in the Short North, the second day of Peace and 3 days of Peace and Music Festival held on North High Street. In addition to food and arts and crafts, there's free live music on 2 stages, and photographer Don Gresham caught up with one band singing Cadillac. Tomorrow, the DeMarcos and Columbus Jets will perform. In China, a leader has fallen from grace, and in France, a massive forest fire started by a suicide. We'll take a look at news around the world next.
I've been working on a new commercial, but there's some news that just can't wait. It's just been announced that Reichert Ford was #1 for all makes and manufacturers, not just
Some of our crack softball team players were in Grandview tonight. They played the staff of the Grandview Heights Parks and Recreation Department, where $100 was raised for Recreation Unlimited. Our team was led by Cabot Ray, Allison Ash, and Jim Schroeder, where it was a virtual hit festival. A lot of offense and little defense. The final score of that game was Channel 4 13, Grandview Recreation Department 9. Good news for Jimmy Crum, money raised, and good news from Jimmy Crum tonight. We want to let you all know he's doing just fine. There was word yesterday that he might be having heart trouble. He did not have heart trouble, an esophageal block, and he is fine tonight, back home in good shape.
Which is certainly good news. And as a public service to those sports fans, we're not going to start out talking about Pete Rose. How about that?
We're all so tired of the Pete Rose story, aren't we?
For the first time in maybe a week. And then tomorrow we'll, of course, lead with Pete Rose.
Right back in the headlines
again. Now we're going to go north tonight, though, with the Indians trying to break out of that 4-game losing streak tonight. Down.
And WSYX Channel 6 News, Columbus.
Bicycle accidents are skyrocketing too, especially the number of head injuries. But Don Meadows reports that Grandview may be leading the way for a new statewide push for safety helmets.
These kids in Grandview are learning street safety in what's called Safety Town, a program which teaches children how to look both ways before crossing the street, how to read a stoplight, and what to do at a stop sign. One thing they don't learn here is bicycle helmet safety. Yet if they fall off of a bike, there's a 75% chance they may have a serious head injury. 5-year-old Ryan Dixon said he used to wear a helmet when riding on the back of his parents' bike, but not anymore.
It made me feel safe. When I was a baby, though.
Now that you're a big guy, do you wear one?
No.
Can you go? Good. Marion Bauman is the director of Grandview Safety Town. She says, unfortunately, parents don't realize the importance of making their child wear a helmet, no matter how old they may be.
The child's out in the streets on the bicycles. They have as much danger of head injury as someone who's on a motorcycle, and it's very important that they keep themselves protected.
Last year, 4 local kids died and 70 were injured in bike accidents in which they weren't wearing a helmet like this one. Yet in spite of those statistics, only 1 to 2% of the kids wear a helmet when riding a bike. But Grandview wants to change that with a program called Head Smart. Kids who wear helmets on their bike or while riding with their parents will be given citations of merit from the local police.
Now you're nice and safe.
Denise Case thinks it's a great idea. She often rides with her 3-year-old Jackie.
When you realize what the consequences that could happen should we be in an accident, it's pretty devastating.
But the New England Journal of Medicine says if this push to wear helmets works, the number of head injuries could drop by as much as 85%. Dawn Meadows, WSYX, Channel 6 News, Grandview.
I know what you're thinking. The helmets cost about $35, but through August 1st, many of the local bike shops are offering it.
Go ahead and talk. That's all right. You'll just be immortalized forever talking.
I heard my voice on taking fire. It's not a pretty thing.
Here is Michael Burkey at Safety Town.
He doesn't look like he's working very hard.
Oh, he is working hard.
Yeah, up here. Get this.
One.
Just for the taste of it.
The move is on to Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
Yes.
Here in the central Ohio area. Yeah.
Okay,
Right,
thanks a lot, Bob.
Well, it is familiar advice, but with school out now, it's extra important to keep an eye out for kids darting into the street. Yesterday, 2 East Side boys were killed when they ran out in front of cars on a busy street.
Another child was also injured the same way yesterday. Several area schools have programs designed to teach children the do's and don'ts of getting around the neighborhood safely. Called Safety Town, the 2-week sessions are getting their message across even if the kids aren't always sure about the whys.
Do you stop at the stop signs?
Yes.
How come?
Nobody ever. I don't know.
But you do stop at the stop signs.
Yes.
At least she stops. Teresa and her classmates graduate on Friday. Safety Town says there are some rules that you may want to review with your kids. Stop, look, and listen when crossing the street. Don't run after a ball that goes into the street. Cross at the light, and when you're in the car, make sure you buckle up.
They were going for the gold today at a track meet put on by the Recreation and Parks Department at Whetstone High School. It
sensation and
Which one are we going?
All gates.
Yeah. It is.
You want to take a picture?
I am.
No, but you're not filming. Push the start.
I did.
No, you didn't.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes, you did. Okay.
Do I put it up above my seat?
Probably this bag would put up above your seat, this one under your seat, I think, probably.
I'm gonna take
But
it
you
out.
just do what it says, then you can take that one out and do your coat. Don't always wear one backpack here.
60th anniversary. Do they have
in front of you or in the overhead compartment. Any items which cannot be
Hi there. How you doing? You want to see our Pac-Man? Watch this guy up here. Find him. There he goes. The problem is there's never a winner. They always tie. Then we have a lady in the cockpit. Did you know that? She talks to us.
Dog. Dog.
Or she says,
Overfeed. Overfeed.
or we got a man that also talks to us. Where you headed today?
Oh, look.
Oh, wow. Did they open the window? Yeah.